Hi, everybody. Now, welcome to another episode of the Question Live Show. First of all, let me apologize for the delay. We are 16 minutes behind our regular scheduling, and I want to say to you, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Yes. Oops. Yes, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. So I was doing my very, very, very best. My very, very best to get over here, to get to you, and to let you know that, I'm over on this side, working my way to come back to you, to come to you on this episode. You see, July is closing, and July is like, I don't want to go. July is squeezing till I don't want to go. July is like, oh my God, my head hurt. I don't want to leave. So July is holding on. So on this episode, we are going to talk about listening, and July is not listening. I gotta get my pillow. July is like, I'm not listening. Why July is not listening? July is not listening to me. Right? July is not listening to me. July is not listening to me saying, don't go. Please don't go. July want me to start singing. Please don't go. Please don't go. Right? So July want me to start singing, and I'm not going to sing, and I'm not going to beg July to stay around, because July want to do its our own thing, and we're not into that. So I got to get my back. Right? So listen to me. Again, we apologize for the delay due to technical difficulties. We are here 16 minutes after our regular schedule, but that is okay. I'm here now. Welcome to another episode. This is a space where we come on in here. We show up to inform you. We show up to encourage you. We show up to inspire you. But most of all, we show up to support you. When we support each other, we will grow better. When we support each other, we will grow stronger. When we support each other, what will happen? We will replenish the earth. Why? Because that's what God gave us life for. Every day we have life. Every day we have life. And when we have life, it is to replenish the earth. How do we replenish the earth? By our gifts and our talents, our dreams and our vision. We call each other in place and we say, tap, tap, tap. Let's see who we can work with so we can work together. We need to get this message that we need to work together, because nobody should not be going through life believing that they are alone, believing that they can do this by themselves. No. We are all on a journey called life, and on that journey, there are little paths on that journey, and those paths are yours and mine. We create our path, and because we have our path on those journeys, we are going to cross path as we go along. So let me tell you, it doesn't matter what path you have, the point is we all want to define a success story. We all want to say, oh, this is our success story. Yes. But let me tell you something about success story. No one, absolutely no one can define success by themselves. Absolutely not. It doesn't matter where you're going in life or who you are, what position you're seeking at this very moment, whether the president, the prime minister, the governor, the mayor, the teacher, the student, the doctor, the lawyer, whatever position you find yourself in, you didn't get there by yourself. And whatever position that you're going after, you can't get there by yourself either. So let's get this consciousness and let's go into a conscious place to realize and to come to conclusion that we need each other. Everyone might define success differently, and that is okay. You are entitled to define your success differently. Your success could be that You're helping somebody along the way. Your success could be that you acquire wealth. Your success could be that, hey, I want to just go live in a tree house. Your success could be, I just want to have peace of mind. Whatever way you look at it, success cannot be defined by itself. Right? No. So we need each other, and the more we come together, is the stronger we'll be. And when we are stronger, we will grow better. Have you ever seen a little wee little bird, a wee little worm, a wee little baby? Need each other. Yes, we do. Ooh. Yes, we do. Yes, am I here growing back real fast? Yes. So if this is your first time coming on this channel, first time you came in November, my goodness, in July, where we are closing the door of July, and we're closing it with a little shaking. Lord, look at that. July is like, oh, no, throwing a tantrum. That's what happened. July is throwing a tantrum. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to know. How many of you out there, parents, your children throw a tantrum? You're like, oh, throw themselves on the ground. Oh my God, help me. And they do all manner of stuff. It is the same thing that's happening to July right now. July is fighting, throwing a tantrum. I don't want to go. Verona said to stay here. Oh my God, please don't let me go. Oh, August, don't come. Right, so yes, so it's a lot. So if you're coming in for the first time, this is what you might experience. A tantrum behavior is happening right now, going back and forth with July. Right, so I had to do a lot of things to get here tonight. A lot of things. I had to do so much just to get on this live here tonight. But let me tell you something. This is just an encouragement for somebody. Don't give up. Don't give up. It might look rough right now, and the tantrum behavior is kicking in, and the chaos and the noise and the voices, everything is going and pulling you, dragging you, pulling you, whipping you, wiping you, doing a lot of things. People coming at you, people saying things about you. Don't give up. No, don't give up. Someone talking about you, don't give up. Somebody said, don't give up. Somebody criticizing you, don't give up. Somebody talking about your background, don't give up. No. Somebody's talking about where you're from, don't give up. Somebody's talking about your skin color, don't give up. Somebody's talking about the way you look, don't give up. I had to push through nail and all sorts of stuff to get here just for you today. So with me pushing here, let me tell you, don't give up. So this message for somebody out there. Don't give up. This is your time to receive that which you were created to receive. If you have planted good seeds, you are going to get good reward. Don't give up. Push through the pain, push through the chaos, push through all the talk, push through all the noise. Don't give up. So I want to say to you, as much as I had to just fight and push and everything just to get here, because it was a 16 minutes of fighting to say, hello, I need to go on live. And my computer crashed and a lot of things was happening. And I'm like, no, you're not going to stop me. That's not how this works. July was throwing a tantrum. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So listen to me. If this is your first time coming in and you're experiencing this chaos, this tantrum behavior, it is okay. It is your message to say that we are encouraging you not to give up. Right? Don't give up. Absolutely not. Don't give up. So a little bit about me if this is your first time tuning in. My name is Verona Willis-Brown. I am your host. Yes, indeed. I am your host. And I've been your host. I've been the host of the show for the past 10 seasons. Hello, somebody. That's a praise. That's a praise. That's a praise. That's a praise. For the past 10 seasons, I've been your host. That lady behind me, she was the host for the past 10 seasons. Now I am upgraded and I will be your host now. Okay? So I want to say to you, welcome. A little bit about me, besides being your host. I am a native of the most beautiful place in the world. Yes, Jamaica. I am from this beautiful place called Jamaica. So I like to come in here and I like to talk about Jamaica. I like to talk about my background. I like to introduce you a little bit about my background so we can roll into so you can know who your host is. And a little bit more about me. I like to brag about my parents. Yes, I do. I like to brag about my parents because they were farmers. They were farmers, and I am a farmer's daughter. So when I show up here, when I show up here, you might not see a topic going on right now, but I did set up a topic, and a whole, like I said, a tantrum behavior took place on my computer, and because there was a tantrum behavior, I had to push through. So like a farmer who have to wait for the seed to grow and push through, that's what I had to do. I had to push through all the tantrum behavior of my computer and all the application that's crashing and wasn't giving me access. Can you believe that? Not giving me access? But anywho, I am that farmer's daughter that grew up to be your host. Yes. So I want to say that's just a little bit about me. So every time there is a topic, I usually go back into my little farmer's background and I use that topic and make it an analogy or apply it right here. So I want to say to you, welcome. And for those of you who've been here before, those of you who've been here, simply mean you've been here more than one time. That means you are a returning audience. And with that said, I saw two of them in the audience, and that is my lovely people over there in the audience, Cheryl VIP and AI Insight Mastery. Hi, Cece. Cece, you're not going to sleep. Cece, it's late for you, but I love you so much. Look at that. You are compromising your sleep to be here. Yes. My Cece is far 5 hours away. Simply mean her sleep time should have been. But guess what? She show up here to give some love and support. Let me tell you, oftentimes we hear the word support and we're thinking support is money. Support is not money. Support is just like what is happening to my sister right here. Sissy saying, listen, it is 12 a.m., but I'm showing up on my sissy, right? That is what you call support. So we said, I appreciate every time you show up. I give you love. I just acknowledge your presence. Yes, I do. I acknowledge your presence. And I love when you are here. So tonight, a lot went on. So you might not see the topic for tonight. It is somewhere on the other schedules. So the topic for tonight was saying, are you listening? That was the topic for tonight, but you won't be able to see it because I had to create a brand new live because July was throwing a tantrum and I was saying, listen to me, July, I'm not going to fight with you because I'm not in the position. Listen, I don't want to fight with nobody. Hello? I don't want to fight with nobody. And another thing I want to tell the newbie people, listen, I'm from a huge family, okay? So if you are new here, what is going to happen? Now I am going to adapt you into my family. And now my family get huger. If that huger is not a word, it is a word now, okay? Now my family get very big because now you are a part of my family. You are considered a new person of my family. So yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So listen, as I mentioned, my family is very huge. Every single month, absolutely, every single month, starting January 1st, there is a birthday in my family. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. And that's the reason why we come on up in here and we use some F words up in here. Yes, we do. We use some F words. F words like faith, fun, and family. Woohoo! Yes, indeed. We use those F words. So whatever F word you have, if they're not faithful and family, we want, I'm not going to say I want to know what they are. Okay? So those are the F word that we use over here. And as I mentioned, my family is huge. Huge. And we have birthdays every month. And that's where I talk about family. But faith is where I come in and I thank God. The faith is where I come in and I thank God. I thank God to give me the strength every day. I thank God to say, come on in there, push through. I thank God to whisper this vision to me when I created this platform. It was a vision to include the creatives out there who are not being seen, who are not being acknowledged. So I thank God for the vision that he gave, that he whispered to me and said, come on in here, create a space so you can show the others that they can come on in here so we can work together. So this space was created just for you out there. If you are a creative, this space was created for you to come on in here so we can work together. Whether you have something doing, whether it's done, whether you're working on something, whether you achieve something already, whatever you achieve, spill back over and help somebody so they could grow as well. So I thank God. Yeah, it is my faith. Let me tell you something. When I started this faith, we talk about faith. When I started this, my faith was just like, woo, woo, woo. My faith was wavering, honey. I was like, I'm not going live on nothing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk. I don't want to nothing. No, I did not want to come live. So yes, so sometimes you're going to get into that person like, I don't want to do this. That's not what I want to do. But my faith said, we're not going to fight. We're going to do this together. And I'm like, no. So now I'm on 330 episodes. I'm like, yay, I'm glad I didn't fight with you because you know what? I wouldn't be having my sister over there and share it in this audience, okay? I would have reached a 330 episodes, okay? So listen, sometimes you want to fight, don't just let it be. Because I wanted to fight with my own dreams. I wanted to fight with my own destiny. I wanted to fight with my own vision. I wanted to fight with God. You know, I wanted to fight with God. Absolutely, Sharon. That's true. Each one helped one. So let me tell you something. I wanted to fight with God when God said, create this platform for the creatives. I'm like, oh, no, we know. I don't want to be in camera, God. And God is like, listen, little girl, I don't want to fight with you. Help me to help you. But then when I started this platform, I realized something, Cheryl. I realized something this is exactly what I wanted. I always dream of this. I dreamt of this since I was a little girl, to do something like this. So when I was fighting with God, I was just being stubborn. How many of you can relate to that? I was being so stubborn. I'm like, no. And God just sit there like, mm-hmm. And I just sat there like, mm-hmm, right? But then I thought about that exactly what you wanted. Let me tell you something. I talk about Oprah on this show a lot. And the reason why I talk about Oprah Winfrey a lot is because as a younger person, little girl, I dreamt of going on the television because Oprah was the first woman I saw on television. Besides, she was the first person like this on television, not a show, because I grew up watching the Cosby Show and different show. But Oprah was the first show host I saw on television. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. I didn't want to be like Oprah. I just wanted to know, how did Oprah get on the screen? Right? I'm like, I want to do that. I have a lot to say. I want to talk to people. I want to encourage people. I've been encouraging people since I was like 5 years old. So when I saw Oprah on the screen, I said, listen to me, Oprah. I'm talking to the screen. And I'm like, Oprah, how did you get over there? How am I watching you? How do I get to that point where somebody's watching me on screen like that? And I watched Oprah. Anybody remember the Oprah Winfrey Show? I watched the Oprah Winfrey Show for days. Like, and I watch and I admire that lady in such extent. I admire Oprah in Oprah move this way. I'm like, I'm moving this way. I'm like, what? Oprah, I see how Oprah interacted, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, Oprah, do you know that's my dream? And I was talking this way, Oprah, do you know that's my dream? So when I was fighting with God, Cheryl, when I was fighting with AI inside myself, when I was fighting with God, I'm like, I forgot. Right? Because we have the tendency to fight with God when we forget what we dreamt about, what our dreams are, because our dreams can't go nowhere. Right? So we have the tendency to fight with God when we sit there and forget that, excuse me, that's what you've been dreaming about. You dreamt about that since you were 4, since you were 5. So now when we get to adult and life happens, we tend to be fighting with God. And that's what happened to me. But I sat there and I fought with God. And it goes right into my topic, like, are you listening? I wasn't listening to God. I didn't want to hear nothing. I'm like, I just want to know how to get over there. But how many of you know that you got to put in the work? You got to put in the work. And I put in the work. And I remember my first live, I was like, oh my Lord, I was sweating. I was nervous. Everything was just happening to me. But as I got into it and I got back into the position where I said, this is my dream. Right? Anybody came in there like, this is my dream. I dreamt of this. And when I saw evolving and wrapping myself around my dream, listen, here I am, 330 episodes. Oh, after. 330 episodes after, I realized, girl, stop fighting. Get on in that dream. Wrap yourself up like a little blanket and show up. So this is what I show up and like, listen, let me go listen to God some more. God, what you want to say? Yes, I go back and I listen to God again. So it is very important as we talk about the topic, are you listening? You see, you can't say the topic here because, let me type it in here, the topic. Let me type it in here. The topic for tonight is, are you? Okay, that's the topic for tonight. Are you listening? Yes, sometimes we want God to tell us what to do, but we don't want to do it because of fear. Absolutely. And Sherry, let me tell you, you ain't telling no tale, honey. I fear every second of that. I was like, listen to me, God. I know what you're talking about. I don't want to do all of that. I'm sorry. Like, you want me to do what? I had a bad fear, honey. I had a bad fear because you see, we have the tendency to have fear of others' opinion of us. And I'm like, what they're going to say about me? What they're going to talk about me? What? No. And that fear was my friend. Sharon, that fear was my friend, girl. That fear was my friend. I'm like, girl, come on, fear. We going to do this together. Yeah, we played together. We slept together. We did everything together. Ate together. We did everything together. Fear was my friend. And I'm telling God, God, I would like to do that. God, I want to do that. And God is like, I know. I'm here. I'm here to help you. So we got to help God to help us. We got to help somebody else to help us. When I say help me to help you, simply means you can't just show up with an intention. You got to show up and take action. And when you show up and take action, what I have, I'm going to pour into you so you can bring forth your purpose, your destiny. Right? I can't bring forth your destiny if you don't show up with something. You can't just have like, I'm thinking. No, show up with something so I could help you, because that's why I created this platform. God gave me this platform. And another F word that we like to use the F word, fun. We like to have fun on this platform. Simply mean we like to celebrate, we like to party, we like to say, hey, shout out to you over there. We like to have fun. So when we like to have fun, I ask you, if there's anything that you would like to celebrate, we celebrate it right here. Yes, we do. We celebrate it right here. Whatever it is that you have, we celebrate it. Whether it is your birthday, your anniversary, your boo's birthday, children's birthday, grandchildren's birthday, neighbor's birthday, whatever birthday. If it is your anniversary, your boo's, this, somebody's anniversary, listen, you got proposed to, you got married, you found out you're having a baby, you had a baby, listen, baby got christened, baby made a first step. We like to do all of that up in here. We celebrate all of that up in here. So whatever it is, listen, you made a step into developing a little bit more. You wrote up you published a book, because see, I can write books. I'm a writer. But you published a book. And there, celebration. We like to celebrate. I get my cheerleading squad. You don't know? I have a cheerleading squad over here. And we celebrate with you. Right? We celebrate. We're like, yay! We celebrate with you. So if your country is celebrating something, hello, people, it's the Olympics. It's the Olympics going on right now. If your country is in the Olympics, shout out to your country. Give a shout out to your country like, yeah. Put your country flag in the comment section. What country is it that's out there with your name on it? Me. Hello. Somebody. Hello. I'm representing Jamaica. So we celebrate these things over here. So whatever country you have, whatever country. I used to love watching that show, Oprah Winfrey show. Yes, honey. We hashtag Oprah Winfrey. Hashtag Oprah Winfrey, Sharon. Whatever country you are celebrating, whatever country out there that is in the Olympics, you know, we up in the Olympics, right about now. We right up in the Olympics. Whatever country you have, whatever country you're from, and in the Olympics, put it in the comment section that you're celebrating that country. Because let me tell you something about celebrating. Celebrating is a form of support. When we celebrate those who are out there, listen, the energy goes out there, and believe me, they show up some kind of way, honey. Yes, they do. They show up some kind of way when they know that somebody is cheering them on. Listen, I'm not no runner. I'm not really into sports, okay? Unless sports is talking for me. Unless my sport is encouraging people. Listen, that could be a sport. Unless my sport is like birthing your purpose, help you. Unless that's a sport, okay? But sports, I know. I like to watch it. Yes, I do. I like to watch it. I like to watch all those fine people running and fit people running and all that. And the gymnastic, how flexible they are. And the swimming, how much energy I got to put into beat that water. I like to watch the Olympics. Yes, I do. And it goes back to my topic again. Are you listening? Because for you to get to the Olympics, honey, you got to be listening. Ain't no joke. It is no joke. For you to get to the Olympics, for you to make it to the Olympics, you got to listen. You see, they say you got one mouth and two ears. Simple mean you got to listen, because you did not just get to the Olympics because hashtag the Olympics. You didn't just get there because, okay? You had to listen to somebody. First of all, you got to listen to your heart. You got to listen to your mama, your coach, the rules. You got to listen to where you're going. They're in Paris. You know, you got to listen to them saying something in French. So you got to listen to all of that. So listening is so essential. Listen is essential. And because listen is essential, we are going to dwell into some habits of listening. We're going to dwell into some habits of why and how we should listen. We're going to go right into why should we listen? And how should we listen? Right? How should we listen? How should we listen? How should we listen? Are we only listening? Oops. Excuse me a second. Are we only listening with our ears? You know, our physical ears? Are we only listening with that? We tell our children, you don't listen. I used to have a song. There used to be a song. I like to talk about myself. Yes, I do. I like to talk about myself, not in a braggadocious way, but I like to talk about myself, of the accomplishment that I have accomplished with the faith, with God in front of me. I have accomplished stuff. I brag about what I have accomplished in not in a very humble way. I don't do it very often, and I don't really talk about the things that I have accomplished very often, right? But I like to talk about the blessing that I have, the blessing that I have accomplished. Why? Because when we talk about the blessing, it is showing that we acknowledge God. It is showing that we are operating in a gratitude attitude. So I like to talk about the very things that I accomplished. Some of them behind me right here, right? But the reason why I talk about these things, because I talk about coming from a farmer's background. There is a story where you plant the seed and you wait for the seed to grow. Right? And you have to listen. I had to listen to my parents, but I was going to talk about a song that I used to sing, not only me, but, growing up. There was a song, Are You Listening? Are You Listening, Brother John? Anybody know that song? Right? But I would say, are you listening, Verona? Like, now I get to the point, I am not singing to Brother John no more. Are you listening? Are you listening, Brother John? Are you listening? I want to say, are you listening, Verona? Hello, somebody told us not to talk to ourselves. Somebody told us this. Don't talk to yourself because people would think that you're crazy. I said, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. And I say, talk to yourself. Yes. Talk to yourself. So I ask myself the question, are you listening, Verona? Are you listening? Yes, I would like to listen. Yes, I would like to listen. I am listening and I vow myself to listen. Right? So that's one of the stuff. So we want to go into the habits of how to listen. This is in my way. We'll move that out of the way. Habits of how to listen. Let's get the writing. Let's get into position and find ourselves in sharing this live of how to listen. I have meeting with myself all the time, right there. Yes, 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 yes. I go into meetings. Let me tell you, Sharon. I go in meeting and I'll be like, girl, let me tell you something right now. We're not playing. We're not doing this. Let me tell you something, Sharon. I'm in business with myself. I gave myself a promotion the other day, right? I gave myself a promotion the other day, and my mentor was like, yay, you did? I'm like, yes. I promoted myself, honey. And you know how far I went up in that promotion? I'm the CEO. Yes, I promoted myself. You go in meetings, I'll be in meetings every day with myself. Like, listen now. Come on now. Excuse me? What are you doing? I have a meeting. So now I promoted myself to CEO. I really have to have meetings. I call myself in meeting like, let's go. I'm not playing with you. Let's go. Oh, you're slacking up. Oh, you're this. Oh, so you're not doing no work. Oh, you're not going. So I had to call a meeting earlier, Cheryl. I had to call a meeting because when I realized that my computer had like crashed, or it was sitting there like doing its own thing. My regular streaming app was not coming up. I had to call a meeting. What are we gonna do? Are we just gonna sit there and just fall over like, hey, huh? Or am I? No. So I had to call a meeting. So yes, Sharon, call a meeting, honey. Call a meeting and listen back. Listen to yourself, because you know what, Sharon? Oftentimes when we talk to God, we don't listen for the answer. God, are we talking? God, please do this. God, please do this for me. God, please. We have to stop and listen to God. With everything going on, we have to stop and listen to God. So yes, honey, I called me a meeting so fast, girl. I called me a meeting so fast. I'm like, listen to me, listen to me, right? So I had to call a meeting real fast. Ooh, child, look, did I just look? I got me a new fan. Sometimes I have to get out and hi Maria, how are you, darling? This is my new fan. I have to call up. I have to get up my new fan every so often. Ooh, child. Yes, so this is my new fan. Anybody know what's happening here? So every now and then I have to take out the new fan and just like, woo, child. But anywho, you have to call a meeting with yourself. When you're getting too comfortable, call a meeting with yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to God. Good, good, good. I'm glad that you're doing good. I'm so glad that you're doing good. Maria is my good sister friend over there, and I love you so much. Let me tell you something. You gotta call a meeting, okay? And when you listen to God and you listen to yourself, you will make some solid decision. Growing up, let me tell you, I like to talk about me and my family. Let me tell you something. I have the permission to talk about my family. Yes, I do. I have the permission to talk about my family. Oh my God. Growing up, right? I had to listen. I had to listen to I'm on the bottom of the Hughes family. I'm on the bottom. So if you don't listen, there was a saying that if you don't listen, you will learn. If you don't listen, you will learn. And if you and there's another saying, but I won't even say it here. Hard head, soft beat, right? So you gotta listen. You gotta listen up. So we're gonna go into the habits of listening. What are the habits of how to develop these habits of listening? Listening to yourself. We had a thing where it was like, oh, my mind said this. Oh, in my mind. That was a very common. Sharon, can you relate? Anybody can relate? In my mind says this. No, it's your inner voice talking. And did you listen? Sometimes we just don't listen. Okay. Look, I can wear this in different ways. Sometimes we don't listen. I could put this way. Look at how flexible this fan is. I could put it this way. I could put it this way. I could put it over my head like a headphone. I could do a lot of things with this. But anywho, when we don't listen, we will learn somehow. Okay, we will learn somehow. But we're gonna go over some habits of how to listen. Develop the habit of listening. First of all, this is how we're going to listen. This is how we're going to listen. Get ready to write these things down. Get ready to write these things down because tonight we are not using our regular app. We are not using a regular app where I can put them on the screen. So write them down. Oh, my Lord. Write them down. First one, we're going to go into the habit of listening. We want to listen with intention. When we are listening with intention, let's write them down. Let's write them down. If something resonates with you, if you can relate to something like Cheryl just did, Cheryl put yes. If you can relate to anything that I say, put yes. Yeah, put yes in the comment section so somebody's can know that I am not talking to myself, and so that I can know this, I am not talking to myself, that I have somebody over here and they're responding to me. Because this is not a monologue. This is a dialogue between you and I. Right? So when I see you commenting, if I ask a question and I see you respond, then I know that we are having a conversation. I like to have conversation. I like to have conversation with myself, but I like to have conversation with people as well. Right? So first thing that we want to do to develop a habit of listening, the first thing is to listen with an intention. You are over there and I'm speaking. Why are you listening to me? What is the intent? What is the intention when you show up here today? Right? So we got to show up with that intention. We got to listen with that intention as well. Right? Listen with, thank you so much, Cheryl. Cheryl is a VIP here. So if you are not paying attention to me, pay attention to the chat because we have VIPers in here that take notes and put notes down so you can see it. And for those who are coming to watch the replay, you will have something to look and read. So the first way to develop a habit of listening is to listen with intention. When we listen with intention, we are about to learn something. Why am I here? I'm about to learn something. The intention is to learn something. Is to develop myself a little bit more. It's how to do something. So when we are listening with intention, we are listening to know that we are about to do something, right? So listen with intention. That's number one. Listen, second habit of how to listen. 2, listen with expectation that you're about to get something. Listen with expectation. Right? We're going to go deep into them, but right now we're going to take pointers to them. We're going to write them down as Cheryl is writing them down. We are going to do the pointers, and then I'm going to go deep into them as we go over them. Okay? So the second one is listen with expectation. First one, listen with intention. It's in the comment section. Cheryl is writing them down. And the second one is listen with expectation. Right? Good. Number 3, listen with both ears. Both, not just one. Listen with both ears. Listen with both of them. That's the reason why God bless us with 2. God didn't just bless us with one, like, hey, listen with one. Bless God, listen with both ears. Number 3, God, like, listen, I'm going to give you 2. Right? Ooh. My goodness, this feels so good. Lord of mercy. This fan feels so good. Number 3, listen with both ears. Number 4, which is very important. It is so important that oftentimes we are not doing this. We are just listening with our ears. But number 4 is so essential. It is so essential that we tap into number 4. Sharon, number 3 is listen with your ears, with both ears, with both. Number 4 is I want you to come close and listen to what I'm saying for number 4. Number 4 says, Listen with your heart. Listen with your heart. That is number 4. Right? And we're going to go 4 habits of listening. 4 habits. Topics. Are you listening? So 4 habits that we are going to apply to our life of how to listen effectively. Our VIP here, Cheryl, is writing them down. So if you're not listening to me, look into the comment section. Look into the comment section. They are in there. This is not where I'm going to plot them on the screen. So they're in the comment section. Look over there. Growing up, like I said, I like to talk about me growing up. Growing up, we had a thing that says, look, listen, and you will learn. The 3 L's. So when I'm mentoring, so those are 4 habits. When I'm mentoring my youth, I apply the 3 L's. The 3 L's. The 3 L's to get through life are look, listen, and learn. Right? So, see, look, listen, and learn. Now we want to dwell into these things because as I say, look, and we're talking about listening, but that is where we are going to learn. Why? Because we're going to go into, we had 4, we're going to go into just a minor one that's not listening. It's called looking. Right? When we are listening now, we're going to expound on these 4 habits. When we are listening with an intention, we are looking at the subject. We are looking at the host. We are looking at the person. We are looking at what we are working with. Right? So we are looking at it. So whether we are looking physically or we are looking in our mind, because things starts in our mind. And what we see with our natural eyes, our mind wrap around it. And what happened? We operate on that. So as we going through this, where we are going, expounding on the 4 habits, which is listen with intention. Listen, what we're looking at, we're intended to learn something. How you show up. What is your intention when you show up? It's not only on this live, but when you show up in your own life, when you show up at church, when you show up at school, when you show up on any other social media platform, what is your intention? When you show up and be in the back, what is your intention? When you show up and be in the front, what is your intention? So we go and we question this thing, what are our intention? So when we are listening, what is our intention? We're saying, what am I here for? Right? What am I here for? What am I listening for? What is coming to me? Right? So now, as we go now, listen with expectation. This is expectation. I'm expecting to get something. So let us listen with expectation. Now you go to school. What is it that you expect to do? To get the subject, learn the subject, apply the subject, get through the class, graduate, and you go to the next level. I talk about the story about the little girl, the little girl who came from a huge family, and her mother loved to cook. Her mother cooked the most scrumptious meal. I mean, beautiful, lovely, tasty meal. And she would get her lovely breakfast in the morning, eat up her much, because her mother said, eat up your breakfast before you go to school. You would never leave the house without your breakfast. And she would have to listen to her mother, eat your breakfast because you're not going to go to school hungry. So yes, so that little girl would sit around a table with her siblings and eat up her breakfast. But somewhere in that eating up the breakfast, she would snug a little piece of the breakfast, tuck it in her pocket, and say, I'm taking this to school for somebody. I'm going to take it to school for somebody because somewhere she saw. See, you can look with your eyes. That was number 5, Cheryl. Look, listen with your eyes. It's kind of like 5, but it's not 5. It's just like a bonus. She looked, right? She looked. And she realized somebody did not have breakfast. She looked and she listened. And she learned that somebody did not have breakfast to come to school in the morning, right? And what she did, she took some of her breakfast, put it in her pocket, and she would go to school with a greasy pocket, very greasy pocket. And she would go and she would take it out and she would feed somebody in the class. She fed a student. She fed a student who she knew didn't have anything. She fed a student who she knew had less than her. She fed a student knowing that she looked and she listened to the sound of hungry. She knew the sound of hunger and she fed somebody. But you see, that little girl grew up and she's still feeding people. She might not be tucking the food in her pocket and feeding people, but she's still feeding people, whether it's by her love, her care, her tenderness, her attention, her vision, her dreams. Yes, she's still feeding people. Because you know how I know that? I do know. Because I know her. Because that little girl grew up to be me. Uh-huh. So if you have not heard the story, let me tell you the story. That little girl is me. I grew up to be that same person. I grew up because I look and I listen and I learn how to contribute. I learn how to see somebody. I learn how to watch and observe and share from what I have. They said share from your overflow, but I share from a full cup. I don't wait for an overflow, that when I get an overflow, I will share from that. But I serve with a cup. I serve with something in my cup, not a depleted cup, because my cup can never be depleted. My cup can never be empty. I serve with something in my cup, just as the same 5-year-old girl, just as a little girl that's 5. That sat there and said, I had something in my plate. I do have some breakfast. And I'm going to, it wasn't overflowing, but I have enough. I had enough to feed me. I had enough to feed my body. I had enough to nourish my body. And I had enough to let me take a piece of what I have here and serve somebody else. So you don't have to wait for an overflow to serve somebody. Serve somebody while you have something on your plate. Serve somebody while you have something in your cup. Yes. When you have an overflow, because we are in the season of overflow. So when we listen with expectation, we're expecting to come in and serve somebody. We're expecting that, guess what? Even when they don't come back at you, you're giving them. You're saying, here is my hand. I expect for you to flourish. I expect to see you better. I expect to see you happier. I expect to see a smile on your face. I expect that when I show up, I'm going to make a difference in your life for the better, right? So we listen with intention. And when I'm listening to you, because what happened? I'm looking. I can't see you. Cheryl is not talking to me. Cheryl is not in the studio with me talking. So I can't listen to Cheryl, but I'm listening from this end, right? As we go this way, I'm listening with my vision because I'm watching what Cheryl is doing in the comment section. So I am listening with, you might say that sound like it's a conflict, but no, I am watching what is happening. So what happened? It's like this. We're working together, my ears and my eyes working together. So I am listening to Cheryl by watching what Cheryl is doing, right? I expect you to come in here and have a conversation with me, not for me to sit here. So I listen with expectation that said, when you're here, we are going to learn together. So as we listen with expectation, let us listen to make an impact on society. When we are listening, we're not just listening with both ears. We're not listening with just both. We want to listen with both ears. We're not listening with just one, like, okay, you're talking to me. Like, you at my left side and you're talking. No, I want to make sure I don't have to turn my head to say, let me listen to my left ears and my right ears at the same time. No, when I'm listening with both, simply means I am paying attention to the person who is speaking to me, because the person that's receiving is getting the message deeper than the person that's speaking. So when you're speaking to me, both ears saying, hey, girl, what you saying? What you're saying? If I am not paying attention, simply means I am listening on one side and I am looking at something else. I'm being distracted. right? So when we are listening with both ears, we want to listen with the person, right? So, right, sure, that's number 5. Listen with your eyes. So, right, just the way I'm sitting here, listen with both ears. You see, do you see the connection? 2 eyes, 2 ears. So they're having a conversation, right? It's like a connection. And they're like, ding, 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 ding. We're related, right? So I am looking at you. And if a person is talking to you, what is it that is best to do? To look in their eyes. Because now when you look in their eyes, you're giving them that attention. And now you will be hearing what is happening to this person, right? So listen with both ears, because it's important that you're not being distracted and you're trying to pay attention at the same time. So listen with both ears. They hold you see the alignment? Let's fall into alignment now. You see the alignment? So these are the habits. Next thing we want to do, we want to listen with our heart. When we are listening with our heart, it is very important, because most of the time when we are having a conversation like right now, or maybe on the phone, when we are on the phone, we can't see the person's eyes, but we are listening to them. It goes back to what I'm saying. Listen with both ears when you're on the phone. Listen with your heart, because when you are listening with your heart, right, the message is coming in, speaking with your heart, it is coming up. It is flowing up this way. It is flowing here. So what is happening when you listen to your heart? Your heart is resonating with the person, and it's resonating with the person's heart. The person said, I'm going through this. I'm going through that. I'm going through this. So what is happening? Now you are heart related to the person. Not just, oh, I'm hearing you, right? Because there's a difference between you hearing somebody than you're listening to them. So when you're listening to somebody, it's going deep in your heart. Like, girl, I'm listening to what you did not even say, right? Oh, I hear you. Have you ever experienced this, Sharon? So Maria, somebody is talking to somebody like, I'm hearing you, but you're not listening. Have you ever experienced that? Or it's just me? You're talking to somebody and you're like, you're not listening to me. And it's like, yeah, I could hear you. No, there is a difference, because if I'm saying, you're not listening to me, and you're like, yes, I am. No, you're not, because you're being distracted. You only listen to me with one ear. Right? So we want to listen to people from our heart. I give you a perfect example. I'm on the phone, and this is how I'm telling you how this is very important. I'm on the phone, and while I'm on the phone, I spoke with somebody last week. And whatever I said to the person, it impacted them. It impacted them in such a positive way that I even forgot what I said, but I spoke from my heart to this person. I spoke from my heart. And today, I got a call, and it was the same person I spoke to on Friday. It was the same person. I'm like, oh my God, like what? Wait, like, Verona? I'm like, yeah, like, whoa. So what happened? The person said, you impacted my life so much on Friday that I'm like, when will I speak to her again? The person was not next to me. The person was on the phone. But I listened to the person's heart over the phone. I listened with my ears over the phone. I could not see the person, so I wasn't listening with my eyes. I was listening with my ears, both ears, and my heart. So you can see, you can go one way, 2 way, 3 different ways to listen. And when I spoke with the person today, oh my God, I was so overwhelmed. I was so happy. And I'm like, what? And I even forgot what I said to the person Friday. But the person called me today to remind me what I said to them on Friday and how it touched their heart. So let us be careful when we speak over the phone, because do you know that when you speak over the phone, someone can know that you're smiling, or they can know that you're not smiling, or they know that you're aggravated. So when we say, you're not listening to me, we're saying correctly, you're not listening, because we want you to listen from here, and sometimes both ears and heart. Right? So when we are talking about that, we're saying, come on in here, learn the habits of listening and apply them accordingly. You can use both. You use one. I'm talking over the phone. I'm talking with my heart, and I'm listening on the phone at the same time. So while I'm listening with both ears, because if somebody else was talking to me, I'm not paying attention to you. I'm on the phone. I'm focused. So what are the results? As a result of listening with an intention, as a result of listening with expectation, as a result of listening with both ears, our heart and our eyes, what happened? We will give attention. We will focus. Whether we are focusing on ourselves or we're focused on the speaker, we will focus. So let us remember that when we do that, we are focusing on a target, on a goal, on a dream, and a vision. Yes. Sometimes we say, like, I have a goal, and my goal is, right? And when you look at your goal, you're like, oh my goodness, keep on looking at that goal. Oh, I didn't achieve my goal today. That's okay. Go after that goal. Do not lower your standard on the goal. Listen to yourself, listen to God, and listen to your heart. Listen to yourself. Because at the end of the day, your dreams and your vision belongs to you, honey. Yes, your dreams and your vision belongs to you. And because they belong to you, listen to yourself. Like Sharon mentioned earlier, she have a meeting with herself. She go on up in this, like, listen, I'm calling a meeting right now. So if you're watching this and you don't call a meeting with yourself, honey, let me tell you something. Time to call a meeting. So I want to say, look around, look, listen, and learn. Look around. If you right now, we're talking about the election coming up, and you know, in America they have an election coming up, which is so many months away. But beside the point, I ask you, Vice President Kamala, look, like keep pressing, right? I ask you, Vice President. I ask you, are you listening to society? Are you listening to humanity? Are you listening to the little girl and little boy that don't have water to drink? I'm asking you, are you listening to the person who don't have not even an ounce of water since this morning? Are you listening to the baby that's crying that don't have food? Or you listen to the mother that don't have food to feed herself and her child? Or you listen to the mother that goes to the hospital and her child died in her hand because you don't have the money to pay the hospital? I am asking you these questions because if we are going in a position, we want to acknowledge what is happening in front of us by looking with our eyes and listen with our heart. When we look and listen with our eyes, we will see that there is a full alignment of how we are listening. Or we listen with the cry of the hungry child, the father who wants to compromise himself, the child that's got to compromise herself or himself, the mother who got to compromise herself. Are we listening to the cry? So I say to you out there, you are going for a position. And I call on you. Please listen, apply these habits. Whatever listening habit you have developed so far, I congratulate you. But I call on you, please, as we go through life, as we leave, as we come in today to go into our tomorrow, the future of our generation is today. They're not being born tomorrow. They're right here, right now. I ask, can we apply these habits? When we apply these habits and we press and we keep on pressing, and like Sharon just said, keep on pressing. As we apply these habits, let us remember that humanity is screaming. Humanity is crying. The earth is crying for help. The earth is crying for peace. The earth is crying for love. The earth is crying for kindness, compassion. The earth is crying for you and I. The earth is crying to say, come and help me. Support me. Somebody right now needs support, and maybe it's not financial support, but just to say, I see you. So I call on you that as you move into a position, let us not go into the position with the same language. As we move from here, let us develop a attitude and let us develop a behavior where we are pushing not only for ourselves, but we are pushing and we are pressing forward for humanity, to lift humanity up, to stop somewhere in a corner, stop at a position, stop at a spot, and lift up humanity somewhere along the line. Humanity is suffocating. Gifts and talent are being suffocated. Why? Because we are not listening with our intention, with good intention. We want to have good intention when we are listening. We are not listening with intention. We are not listening with expectation. We are not listening with both ears. We are not listening with our eyes, and we are not listening with our heart. So I call on you as you watch this live, each and every one of you that watch this live, I call on you, whatever position that you're in. If you're in a position that you have acquired enough, spill out on somebody else who dreams are in their hands. So I ask you, please keep pressing towards lifting humanity. As we lift humanity, remember, we have to change our language. The same language cannot lift humanity. We must speak, go back into the neighborhood, give back to the community, share with the community, help a person. Right now, someone is not making it. Why? Because no one listened to them. We want to listen. So I say to you out there, your voice matter. You shall not matter. Show up with intention, show up with expectation, show up with your heart. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this live. I know we went over a bit. Why? Because we started a bit behind our schedule. Thank you so much, VIP Cheryl. Thank you, Maria, for tuning in. And for those of you who are tuning in without putting yourself in the greetings in the comment section, I want to thank you just the same, because when you're looking from the back, simply means you have an intention. When you show up here, that simply means you have an intention. And my sissy, all the way in the UK, she compromised her sleep to show up. I want to say to you, thank you so much. If you are going to watch the replay, #replay. And as I say, please listen as we move forward. Thank you so much for tuning in into this episode of the Question Live Show. Have yourself a good night, good morning, and just a good life by helping somebody. And how you help somebody? Solution is listen, 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 listen. Thank you so much. And I want to thank VIP Cheryl for taking notes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to celebrate Cheryl. Listen to me. Look at Cheryl's name before I close out this live. You see Cheryl's name's right here. Cheryl's name is listed right here. You can't miss her. She's a VIP. She's been taking notes. Type in her name over in Amazon. Yes, type in her name in Amazon because she published her first children's book. We want to say congratulations to Cheryl. She just published her first children's book. Please go over there, support her. You purchase the book. Please put up a review. A review means a lot to authors' work. Thank you so much again, Cheryl. Keep pressing forward. Keep showing up with an intention. Keep showing up with your heart. God bless you. God keep you. As we meet again tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully. Bye.